We'll call the meeting to order at 6:05. I will start with attendance. I am here. Ken?
Present.
All right. Jamie?
Present.
Lauren?
Present.
All right. Dave?
Present.
All right. Dan? I don't think I saw Dan.
Dan's on. He's just either muted or not as a panelist, but he is on.
All right. Dan, if you can see if you can unmute, at least so you're here for roll call. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All right, well, let me just see. Let me just confirm. Let's see. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I see Dan on the list, but something's going on. All right, Nancy?
Here.
Jason?
Present.
Jason's here. All right, well, Leisha? I don't think I saw Leisha on the list. Nope. All right. Well, I know Dan's there, but either way, we have a quorum, so we can conduct business. So why don't we move it along? Because I know, is there still a meeting at like 6:30, Walter?
Yeah, we some of our group will need to jump onto planning and zoning.
Okay, yeah, so we'll go as fast as we can. We put you guys up front. Why don't we just do the approval of the meeting minutes, September 24th, 2024. I sent those out earlier. Anyone have any questions, comments, concerns about the meeting minutes of the 24th?
That's the brightest bulbs.
Someone's gotta mute themselves, whoever that was. All right, having no questions, comments, concerns, do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Written?
Stebbins.
Do I have a second?
DeLuca, second.
Luca, second. Okay, we'll do a roll call vote. I am a yes. Ken?
Yes.
All right, Jamie?
Yes.
Lauren?
Yes.
Dan, if you can hear us or talk to us. All right, we'll put a question mark next to Dan. Nancy?
Yes.
All right, Jason?
Yes.
Okay, so those meeting minutes passed. All right, and so why don't we speed along, because I know we're kind of in a time crunch. Walter,
Yep.
we put you up the top of the agenda, so why don't we go from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys for jumping on for the municipal facilities replacement. We'll get right to it for our October 8th meeting. Tonight we're going to go through a permitting update, Concom and planning and zoning, design update from KBA. We will ask that the municipal building committee approve the 80% CD estimate package to move into a 100% design development, or CDs. We're also going to go over pre-qualification committee and ask that the committee establish the group, which will be described in the meeting, and 2 members of this group will need to be on that committee. We'll go over schedule and next steps, and then any questions and comments. So Greg, if you want to run through permitting for 524 Depot.
Sure. So 524 Depot Street permitting, we have had 3 hearings with conservation, and we're teed up for a 4th on likely the 15th of this month, so next week. And at that meeting, we expect to have an order of conditions and likely close the hearing and ultimately get the permitting underway for the project. That'll come with an order of conditions. We expect that to follow a couple days later. So the committee votes on an order of conditions that goes back to the conservation agent and department for final, writing and issuance. That is usually pretty quick after that order of conditions, and that will complete the permitting step for conservation on 524 Depot. Why we're speaking quickly tonight is tonight we have planning and zoning, our first hearing for 524 Depot Street. That starts at about 6:30, so we'll be on in front of them. And if required, again on the 21st, though that meeting may be canceled. So we may push to the 4th, I believe, would be the next hearing. So that is 524 Depot Street permitting. And then the next slide, Walter, is 321 Main Street. So lagging just a couple weeks behind this 524 project so that we can get all of those kind of complex issues resolved is 321 Main Street. Fire substation, a much simpler permitting process that we go through just with planning and zoning. They will do the analysis of the stormwater as well as other items for planning and zoning. There isn't really much that we're looking to, there's no variances required or anything like that. It is an Elmosynary use, so that district just requires a site plan review for every development within it, and that's why we will be at planning and zoning. Pretty straightforward. Likely we will be on the 21st if that meeting doesn't get canceled. If it does, we will be on at the November 4th meeting. Again, that will come with an order of conditions, just like conservation and just like planning and zoning will for 524 Depot Street. So pretty straightforward. No real hang-ups here. Just need to go through the process and finish it.
All right, and move right on to the designer update.
So no real design update this month, but we did want to just flip quickly through kind of the slides just as a reminder of what the project includes and what the vote entails tonight. So, you know, Walter, I don't think there's much that has changed. I think we were lucky that we didn't have to go through value management or value engineering given the results of the estimate. So again, just a reminder kind of what the project entails, the things we've done over the past couple months, and what the vote is based on tonight. So again, mostly just a couple images of the public safety building. The cost is split really, you know, amongst the 3 buildings or 4 buildings. Relatively evenly, but you know, Walter, I think the overall project is pretty straightforward. Total project cost is on budget, and that's really the important part. And we'll jump right to that. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Craig. So as we mentioned and discussed at the last meeting in late September, our SD approved budget was that 116.74. We are tracking slightly below that, but right on target, 116.3 and 116.4 on the estimate of record and the check estimate. Those numbers do allow us to move and keep right into the total project budget of 150.53 million. With that being said, the 3 items that are being carried as alternates right now will be the DPW canopy and half of it, and then the full version of it, and then the public safety police vehicle under canopy parking potential for a couple options there. That'll be discussed at the pending the vote tonight during the 100% as we finalize how to carry those in what order. Keep in mind that alternates, if accepted, need to be taken in sequential order. So first one, you can't take 2 without taking 1. So we'll go through with that committee during that phase of wrapping up design and getting ready for bid. But right now, we do not have the budget to include those alternates in the base scope at this point in time. So we would be hopeful to include those scopes pending a successful vote when that comes in early 2025. If there's any questions on cost estimates or alternates, happy to take those at this time before we go to the next. And also, Andy, at this point, we'll be looking for the vote to approve the 80% CD package.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions about the permitting or design update and the CD estimate that Walter just went over? I did, as everyone knows, I sent links out back on the 24th of September, you know, to the construction drawings and the specifications. So I did do a cursory review myself, but obviously there's a lot of paper there. So there was really nothing that jumped out that hasn't been covered in these meetings as far as I could see. Anyone else have any questions or comments, concerns about that CD set and this estimate as we look at it?
I think, Andy, probably great to note would also be the collaborative input that has happened as part of the focus groups that KBA has been running with everyone from the district. We've had anywhere from 10 to 20 people on almost all of those meetings. So interiors, exteriors, MEPs, civil, sustainability, all of that has taken shape with input from people who will be in these buildings, people who live in town, and people who work in the industry. So it's been really helpful to have that input from the people in the district.
Yeah, agreed. Any members, any NBC members want to pose any questions? Questions? Let me just scroll through here. I don't see any hand raised. Okay, so I think, Walter, we should probably just vote on this right now.
Yeah, I think that would be great because we're going to move into another vote right after.
Yeah. So I guess what we'll do is I will take a motion to approve the 80% CD set and estimate as proposed here tonight. Do I have a motion?
So move, Carlson.
Carlton. All right, do I have a second?
Second, Bruce.
Bruce. All right, we'll do a roll call vote. I'm a yes. Ken?
Yes.
Jamie? Is Jamie still there?
Yep.
Can you unmute, Jamie? Are you having trouble?
Maybe he stepped away.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been kind of strange here.
I can ask him to unmute.
Yeah, Jamie, can you hear us? Can you unmute?
Yeah, I'm
There.
having issues as well. I can't get back to my Zoom screen for whatever reason, but I've heard everything, and I'm a yes if you can hear me.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, I can't see anybody or the screen.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay, so that was Jamie. Yep, Lauren?
Yes.
All right. Dan? I don't know, Dan, can you hear now?
Yes.
All right, at least I'm hearing you. Yeah. Nancy?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
All right, so that motion passes unanimously. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
Um,
So with that, we'll jump right into pre-qualification. So I believe most of this group know that in Massachusetts, we are required to pre-qualify both subcontractors, sometimes known as trade contractors or filed subbidders, as well as general contractors for public construction. So before issuing those, we need to establish what's called a pre-qualification committee for the purpose of reviewing and evaluating the responses. I think we're going to have somewhere between, we'd be hopeful for, or expecting between 100 and probably 150 responses on a project of this scope and size. Maybe slightly less because some of the smaller players might be out on the GC and maybe some of the larger packages, but still probably triple digits on those packages coming in. So we're required to have representation from the designer, and then 3 from the awarding authority, one of those being one from the OPM. So the OPM will be collaborative. We would assume it'd probably be Greg or multiple people from his staff, leaving 2 open spots for people from the awarding authority. So that'll be who we will need to establish tonight. Once we establish that committee, we will get the RFQ out onto the street. We're going to plan to go live with it, I believe, on October 16th. We've been drafting it up. Very similar process if some of the group remembers what was done on the elementary school, but we can move the points around slightly. We can do what we can to award points in categories that are going to be most beneficial for the town. And then there are a certain amount of points that are required to be pre-qualified to bid on the project, along with 5 mandatory requirements. So we'll be grading, scoring, and reviewing, and then also checking references on the submitted packages for the pre-qualification process. So Andy, happy to take any questions from the NBC. But really the key here is that the two people that are going to represent the district will work with KBA and PMA on reviewing those packages. PMA and KBA have drafted, and they'll get it live, and it'll really be just answering and maybe checking some scores for us as we go through to make sure that the letter of the law is hit by having everyone participate. And Chad or Greg, anything to add on that is welcome as well.
No, I think you hit everything, Walter. Typically, we have either myself listed on the committee, but also a couple alternates, and in this case, it would be Brian McCusker from Weston and Sampson and Lee Rich from here in our office, the project architect. So,
okay, great.
The only thing.
And what kind of a time commitment would this be, Walter? You know, as far, are there actual meetings, or is it more?
I think that's what Chad was just about to hit.
Oh,
Yep.
go ahead, Chad, then. My bad.
Yeah, so not too bad. I mean, if we get 100 packages, it doesn't mean you have to review all 100 packages. We break them up across the reviewers, being multiple of us from PMA and KBA. Generally, we take the lion's share of it, and we know that you're all busy and have full-time jobs, so we'll work to make it as easy as possible on the two people from the district.
Exactly.
We'll conduct all the reference checks, so we'll standardize it. It all happens electronically. But really not too bad. I would say all in, I mean, it might take you 4 to 6 hours to go through the workload on those 2 member positions.
Excellent. Thank you, Chad. So, you know, I myself don't do a lot of public bid stuff, so I'm wondering if anyone in the committee who, not naming names, who might do more public bid type of projects might want to get involved on this one. Not naming names, but like to hear other people's thoughts.
I'm happy to volunteer.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to help out as well. I did this on Blanche Ames, so, and
Awesome.
on many other projects. So unless someone else wants it, that's fine. But
Yeah, and I think that we were on that one when we selected like the OPM and everything from the get-go. So,
Awesome.
anyone else want to throw their hat in the ring or have any comments about that? I mean, I think obviously we do want people who have that expertise. It makes a lot of sense.
I did it for Blanche Ames. It's not a huge commitment, and it's kind of interesting, but I'd rather someone else take my spot this time.
No, that's appreciated, Ken. You spent a lot of time on that project, so that's appreciated. All right, any other questions, comments, concerns about the pre-qualification committee? All right, seeing none. Walter, will we make the vote to, you know, to set up this committee, the 4 positions, or just appoint the 2 folks?
I think you can just appoint the 2 from the district, and when we write up the RFQ, we'll just include the names in that. It's not really a formal thing. It just needs to be included in the RFQ. So just vote nominating and voting the 2 to represent the awarding authority would be David and Dan. That'd be great.
Okay. So why don't I just ask for a motion to appoint Dan Jick and Dave Field as the 2 representatives of the awarding authority on behalf of the town for the pre-qualification committee.
So
Do I
moved.
have a motion? Stebbins.
Second, Carlson.
Awesome. All right, we'll do a roll call vote. I am a yes. Ken?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Lauren?
Yes.
All right, Dan?
Yep.
Nancy?
Yes.
And Jason?
Yes.
Okay, so that passes unanimously. Congratulations, and thanks for that help. I think you 2 will actually be very helpful on that. So we can move on. I know, because I'm trying to get you out of here before 6:30. So
That's all right. Andy, I just let Leisha in.
okay.
Sorry, I'm running 2 screens, and
Yeah, we're a little technically challenged tonight.
that's all right. I just wanted to let. Oh no, that's yeah. All right. I'll get to that after we finish. Sorry, I just realized that. Yeah, you'll have some trouble if I leave.
So why don't,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want to just go over schedule next steps and then we'll
yeah.
close it out quick?
Yeah, so we've adjusted the schedule to be representative of the permitting items that you've heard tonight. You'll see the 80% wrapping up on this evening's meeting, as we just did. 100% begins first thing tomorrow, if not already begin. Bidding, you'll see the pre-qualification process is mapped out to exactly what we talked about. Really nothing else to mention on schedule at this point in time. We'll probably discuss schedule with the NBC at our November, December meetings in order to kind of button up and tighten up dates that we want to include in the bid process for the final bid package for both 321 and 524, so that everyone's on the same page with what's in the bid documents. Just a quick highlight of where we are. We're moving right along with those next steps. These were the meetings tonight, or items that we're going to carry, and what's going to be discussed at those meetings. And then upcoming meetings, November 12th, December 17th, and January 14th. If anything needs to shift or any meetings need to be added, we'll be sure to reach out to Andy and get them on the schedule as soon as possible. Right now, we're not anticipating anything, but that could always change. So we'll keep everyone aware. That is everything we had, Andy. So I will turn it back over to you for any questions on the municipal facilities replacement project.
Yeah, no, thank you, Walter, and thank you for getting it in here. And we're just in a time crunch because for those who don't know, Walter had to join as the host because we had some technical difficulties. So I want to be able to get him off in time for the next meeting.
That's a bit. I don't think I can jump off, or else I'm gonna end your meeting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So I'm going to try to move it along quickly.
Okay, all right, perfect.
As far as the water treatment facility project update, Dave, I mean, we just talked about it 2 weeks ago. Anything changes in the last 2 weeks?
Update, Andy. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So we will just kind of move things along so we don't run out of time. And Walter, maybe quickly, or anyone from the school committee
I can jump on. And Chris, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe we have 2 items that would not be considered punch list, or warranty, and there's a couple warranty calls that are open on Blanche, and then we have 1 open question for the technical review committee as it relates to Fields. Waiting for a response on that. We did just get a final or a request for a final rec from the contractor. It included the final change order, which is not yet finalized. So we need to kind of put a move on that with them since they've been patiently waiting. They haven't wrecked in a while. But we are moving right along with all those open items. Brate's been picking up the pace on wrapping them up. And I think they're ready to get out of there as well. But everything's been going good there. Chad or Chris or Alicia, anything else to add on that?
Good.
That's the school update.
All right, perfect. Thank you for moving that along. Because I know you got to get moving. So unless there's any other new business, I think we've covered everything we had on the agenda. So unless anyone has any new business, why don't I'll take a motion to adjourn so we can free up Walter to go to the next meeting.
So moved, Stebbins.
Okay. Do I have a second? Bruce. Okay. Do a quick roll call vote. I am a yes. Ken?
Yes.
All right. Jamie?
Yes.
Lauren?
Yes.
All right. Dan?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
All right. I appreciate your patience. There's a couple of technical glitches tonight, but I'm glad we're going to get you out by 6:30, Walter. So,
You guys
all
nailed
right. The
it.
meeting is
Appreciate
adjourned.
it.
Thank you for checking in.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.